up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the WARFRAME video. So we got some massive story reveals recently in WARFRAME with the 1999 update. Today we're going to be trying something new. We're going to be reviewing the story that's been revealed so far, and basically giving an overview of it and some opinions and all that kind of stuff of what is actually happening in the 1999 story. So before we go further in this video, massive spoiler warning ahead. That should be pretty obvious. We're going to be reviewing the WARFRAME 1999 comic and briefly talking about how I feel about this lore stuff, because it actually is pretty cool. And it is also going to be a general overview. I'm not going to read every word of the comic to you, but you can go ahead and read it on the WARFRAME website if you'd like to check it out in great detail. So let's get right into it. Before we do, make sure to sub this channel. We do daily WARFRAME video uploads, build videos, news videos, discussion videos, maybe even lore videos going forward. You're the right place for WARFRAME content. I appreciate all the support on the recent videos. Alright, so let's start it up. We have the WARFRAME 1999 comic, and I'm going to be giving you the general overview of what's happening on these pages so we can, get along here, or move along here. So, we set the stage with the Hex group locked down in a building from the Scaldra outside. They're talking about how they recently got a viral injection that was given to them by Dr. Friday. This has given them some powers, and they're trying to figure out how they want to get out of here without getting turned into Swiss cheese, basically. Now, Trinity does have some healing powers here, and they're saying that these powers came from the injection that Dr. Friday gave them. They said if they didn't choose to take the powers quickly and inject themselves with this stuff, they would die if they didn't make the choice quick enough. And as you can see, they are locked down by the Scaldra outside. If they didn't make the choice quick enough, the choice would be made for them, whatever that's supposed to mean. And they're worried that they're basically changed forever, never go back to their families. Volt is actually looking at the injection that they took and saying, why did they give us extra doses of this stuff? Meanwhile, Nyx is saying, I'm basically done with this. Let's get out of this place. I'm sick of being locked down in this building. And Arthur says, on the count of 3, we're getting out of here. As he comments that Amir has electricity, Aoi has electromagnetism, and Eleanor, aka Nyx, only got pain, which is basically how she's releasing this assimilate wave right here to get rid of the Scaldra. He also comments that Nyx has not spoken since they've been infected with this tech virus, which has given them powers. And Dr. Friday, as you can see in this picture, is probably someone we already know, is the cause of this. So they want to find Dr. Friday before they get silenced for good to maybe fix this. And as you can see, this Scaldra is appearing to speak in what looks like Orokin right here. So that could be a link to the Orokin Empire at some point. Which I'm starting to speculate that this might be the creation of the Orokin Empire in the lore. So they're all, trying to get out of here. It's breezing out of here. And that's a fact. They're basically partying, and they just want... Now, Arthur did get shot at some point, so Arthur is saying, leave him alone. Like, he's still, the heal from Trinity is apparently not good enough, is what I'm getting from a vibe from this. So, they're going to move out of here, and they are going to have, they're going to go into their hideout, basically, which is not the Halvania Mall. So, I'm assuming we'll get to the Halvania Mall in the quest at some point. But it looks like the Scaldra has chased them down to their hideout spot yet again. So, they crashed through the wall with some motorcycles, and it looks like everything is good to go again somehow. So, there's a non-zero chance trading one more dose of Friday's serum won't kill us. So, they are basically in rough shape right now. They want to get some more of the serum, but they're also not sure if it's to kill them, or if it's, if they should take more serum from this guy. I don't know how they're going to find him, but we'll learn about that further in the comic. This is a flashback to earlier in the day. Now, this is important information to me right here. As you can see, they are the Outbreak Management Team of the International Crisis Response style Intergovernmental Crisis Management Agency. So they are basically here to stop the tech rot virus outbreak. But they also seem to have gotten injected by it, by air quotes, Dr. Friday, but this did happen off-page, off-screen here. So, as we move further, they actually have this is showing the first operation here where they're actually going to be apprehending Dr. Friday, who seems to be Albert Entrati, and they're giving the lowdown of what's happening here. They all have families to go back to at home, But basically after what happened today, they're not going back to those families because they're basically proto Warframes is kind of what this turns into. And of course, this is massive spoilers, but I'm hoping that we get more than just this in the actual quest. All right, so they're just giving the lowdown of how they're going to be taking care of this operation, and Arthur's going to take care of this personally. Arthur's going to apprehend Dr. Friday personally while his team is basically watching his back, and also Cyto9 will be giving sniper support. So as they discuss this, they did state they want to get a cure for what that Dr. Friday has done. From what we're seeing here, Dr. Friday is the one that created the tech rot virus, which has basically taken over the world, it seems like, or at least certain areas of the world. As they descend upon the base of operation of Dr. Friday, they state that no, they've gotten abilities and stuff, but a bullet is still a bullet. They can still get killed, they can still get shot at and massively damaged. So they're not invincible, although they are much more powerful than they were before. As they enter the building, Owie says to Arthur, you might need to look at this. Now, this is a massive, massive important information detail right here of what Owie is going to have Arthur looking at. Arthur finds some paperwork that seems to be from Dr. Friday, a.k.a. Albert Dentrati, where it says, the virus is just the beginning. Your humble servant, Helvadia shall chart the course of human history for the next 10,000 years. He's also running to the Major as well. So it seems that Dr. Friday is working with the Scaldra and has created a bioweapon that is going to, in his words, chart the course of human history for the next 10,000 years. This could lead into what is created of the Orican Empire, at least in my opinion. So massive, massive information on this little tile right here. Arthur does confront Albert Dentrati and says, get on the ground, basically. And he does comment, why are the Scaldra already here to where we've gone to? And then Albert Dentrati states that he has given them the address. And basically Arthur's like, I'm going to kill you for doing this. And then he's like, you're not going to kill me. Then Arthur, well, we'll get to that part in a second. Trinity is commenting, the enemies are already here, basically. We got to get out of here right now. And as Albert says, I'm going to depart, but I'm going to leave this gift for you. Albert has left a injection of the tech rot virus here, it looks like, which is what's going to cause them to get their powers. I believe in this flashback they don't have their powers, but also they said a second dose earlier in the comic, so not entirely sure if this is before or after they got powers, because it does not seem like they have powers on this page. Now, Arthur is realizing he has a bullet wound from earlier, and Albert Dentrati comments, you're going to shock. You have to choose to either take this injection or to die. This is the choice they were presented earlier, and basically, yeah, Arthur was about to die, and it's like, well, we have this stuff that is apparently going to make us not die, so maybe I should take it. He doesn't want to, but he feels like he has no other choice. So as the Hex basically talk about this injection thing that Arthur has, looks like the windows are going to be breaking, and the Scaldra are basically closing in on the Hex while they're inside this building. Now, Albrecht did say this is a field test for this infested virus stuff. He's basically using this they're using them as test subjects for this virus. And they're like, basically, we have a little choice here. We're getting surrounded by Scaldra. We can't really take this right now. And then Cyto9 just says, screw it. And then they're like, together, always. They're gonna all inject the tech rot virus at the exact same time. So they inject themselves, and it looks like Owie is like regretting it right now already, even though it's been injected for like 2 seconds. Little does she know it's about to get a lot more regrettable in the next couple of minutes here. They are seriously having a bad time. This is them getting infected by the tech rot virus and the violent physical mutations that happen after that does occur. So, I mean, Cyto9 looks like they're having a bad time. Everyone looks like they're having a really bad time. But, that's they made their choice. They had a split-second decision. Do they want to potentially get these powers? They don't even know exactly what's going to happen here, but they think it might save them. Or they just want to die. That's like their two options, basically. This might even be a fate worse than death, depending on how you look at it. So they are massively infected right now, and the Scaldra close in. As you can see the Orican words from the other side. They are repeatedly shooting at the Hex and basically are taking them down. As the Scaldra, admire their work, you could see the reflection in the scope of the Scaldra that Amir and the others have gotten up. So once they died, they got this power. So Amir says hello, and they've all risen, looking very Warframe-like, and they all unleashed their powers at the same exact time. So, yes, from what I can tell right here, they did not have these powers until after they died, which would kind of go along with what we have lore-wise in Warframe, where Warframes are infested, dead bodies, basically. So they unleash their powers, they annihilate the Hex, or they annihilate the Scaldra, they are the Hex, and as they stated earlier in the comic, they have families, but they'll probably never see them because they are basically irreversibly changed after this night. Given what we become and what we know, it's impossible to find ourselves obliged to stop together always. So I believe this will lead us into 1999. If it doesn't, this might just be the 1999 quest. So, now that we've read through that, I've also reviewed the Warframe 1999 anime clip, which I'm not going to play here. From what I can tell, the spoilers we had before of basically them telling us that Albrecht and Trotty turned them all into proto-frames, that is not entirely the case. They technically had a choice to become proto-frames, but the other choice was just basically just getting insta-killed. So, in that way, they had a hard decision. Do they want to survive and become these proto-frames or whatever? They probably didn't even know what the tactical virus was going to do in the first place. So do they want to roll the dice, see if they can survive, or do they want to just take it and die? They just decided to roll the dice, and they have been turned into proto-frames basically. So now that has happened, where do we go from this? Well, Albrecht and Trotty did still get away. He was able to disappear or escape from Arthur because Arthur was reeling in pain from a bullet wound. It does not seem like they are friends, to put it lightly. I don't think that they're friends, Albrecht and Trotty and the Hex, especially after what happened right there. But they might feel obligated to serve him in some way, due to the fact that he basically kept them alive. So it's going to be a weird interaction in post-quest content. We'll see. It is an interesting story for sure. I'm excited to see where we actually go in the quest or the post-quest content. So, cool stuff there. Hope you guys found this video at least interesting and helpful. Let me know how you liked about the format down below. Is reviewing lore like this something that you're interested in on the channel? Do you think that I might have misinterpreted some of the stuff? The flashback thing was a little bit hard to understand, but after I read through it a couple times, it made a little bit more sense. And yeah, guys, I'll see you on stream very soon. We're going to stream some Warframe and maybe some other games afterwards. So, yeah, Game Awards should be at the launch date for Warframe 1999. It might even come out the day of. We'll see. But yeah, I'll see you guys very soon on stream and appreciate the support. Take it easy. Peace.